Canada removed many of its retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. Friday, including steel and aluminum. Earlier this week, the Trump administration quietly expanded its steel and aluminum tariffs, adding over 400 additional products and increasing impacts on this sector of commerce. Several Warren leaders representing the Thomas Steel Strip Corporation are fighting back, saying imported steel is the key to their livelihoods. Warren Mayor Doug Franklin, Trumbull County Commissioner Denny Malloy, and the United Steelworkers Union have worked together to draft a letter to President Trump detailing their concerns about the administration's tariff policies on steel industries. United Steelworkers District 1 Representative Mark Murray is here now to discuss how Thomas Steel Strip workers are going to feel the effects. Mark, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So in your letter to the president, you explained that Thomas Steel Strip relies on a very specific kind of steel imported from the Netherlands to make their products, which include everything from alkaline batteries to electric vehicle components to automotive fuel lines. So why is it crucial to import this specific steel? Why can't it reliably be found here in the U.S.?
Out of all the quality steel producers that are in the U.S., nobody will produce this steel in the past. So Thomas Steel Strip has bought this steel for decades out of the country at their sister plant in the Netherlands. This hot band can't have any scale, any inclusions, and it's very specific to battery quality. So currently, most of the domestic suppliers have signed off on all the tariff inclusions to Thomas Steel. Thomas Steel has found one domestic supplier that's willing to produce battery quality hot band and trial it. And hopefully we can get them trials done, but that could take up to a year and a half. Thomas Steel has to run the quality and all the checks in their facility first. And then from there, it has to go to all the customers for quality and qualification process.
So what would be the short-term and the long-term impacts of these tariffs on Thomas Steel?
Short-term impacts are big added cost. And what we're finding out right now is a lot of the customers that Thomas Steel has, they're seeking alternative sources offshore, especially in the Asian market. And when we talk about the Asian market, that's where a lot of the illegal dumping and price manipulations come from. So some of the customers are already offshoring product right now in hopes of being cheaper. And then when you talk about long-term, obviously companies can't remain profitable with a 50% tariff. And so not being profitable, eventually, your costs are going to go sky high, the customers are going to leave, and then, you could risk the mill shutting down.
What do you and the local Warren leaders hope to accomplish through the letter to the Trump administration?
Some recognition in getting this tariffs. When we talk about tariffs, people can look at tariffs multiple ways. There could be tariff relief, or there could be the quota system, which they're talking about. But they have to eventually get something into place and not just tell facilities like Thomas Steel and others, well, there is nothing, we can't do anything for you, until they decide. Hopefully they come up with something soon. Along with, Mayor Franklin and the commissioners, a lot of effort's been put into letter writing and this. And, I wanted to say to everybody that they understand that, the commissioners and the mayor played a big part in this letter also. So we can get it done. I know the Warren Tribune reported some things on Chinese steel, but this has nothing to do with Chinese steel. This all has to do with the steel coming from our parent company in the Netherlands.
What would success look like to you, Mark?
Success to me would be if we can get this facility in either the quota system or even at a 10 or 15% tariff. If we can get it at a reduced tariff percentage would be great. Particularly none like we've had since 2018 when the Section 232 tariffs went into effect.
Well, here's hoping you guys can get what you need to be done. We appreciate you sharing what's going on.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you.